This is a magical world where a person's body size is determined by their salary. One day, a woman came to a company for a job interview. She struggled to push open the company door, which was several times taller than she was. After finally getting inside, she saw an extremely tall staircase in the distance. She climbed it with great effort and saw a group of people reporting to a giant boss whose body was much larger than theirs. The boss lowered his head to observe the new employee and pulled out a magnifying glass to read the woman's resume. After reading it, he gestured to his secretary to bring a cup and exchanged it with the woman's resume. This meant that she was accepted into the company. The boss extended his hand with a friendly smile. The woman quickly shook his hand, and magically, she grew a little bigger after the handshake. The next day, the woman arrived at her workplace, and her supervisor assigned another employee to work with her. They were responsible for different tasks, but the computer in front of her was too large, and she had to lie down on the keyboard to work hard. Her coworker kept complaining that she was too slow and told her to type faster. When it was time to go home, her coworker left the company, but the woman stayed behind in the office and kept working until she was the only one left. The next morning, when her coworker arrived at the desk, he was shocked to see that the woman had not only finished her tasks but had exceeded them. The supervisor saw this and shook the woman's hand, causing her to grow slightly bigger. During a meeting, the manager set performance targets that made everyone look worried. But the woman was the only one who proactively reported that she had already exceeded her target, surprising the manager. After shaking hands with her, the woman grew a little bigger again. She became increasingly motivated and even operated 3 computers at once. This astonished her coworkers, and because of her strong work ethic, she received recognition from her superiors. At the end of the month, while her coworkers looked dejected, the woman held a stack of papers much taller than anyone else's and received praise from her boss. In this way, the woman's body also grew larger, and her salary increased as well. But she didn't become complacent. Instead, she worked even harder every day. As she shook hands with different leaders, her body grew bigger and bigger until she towered over all her coworkers. Now, the woman had great responsibilities, and her boss decided to retire. Seeing the employees who were now afraid of her, the woman felt powerless. At that moment, someone was climbing the stairs. It turned out to be a new employee coming to apply for a job. The woman looked at the new hire, reminded of her own past, and suddenly, she smiled.